Bluey looks almost perfect. Every episode is packed with tiny details, smooth animation, and expressions that make the characters feel real. But hidden inside those polished adventures are mistakes so strange that even longtime fans usually miss them completely. Some are visible for only a single frame. Others change a character's appearance entirely, and once you notice them, it's impossible to unsee them. Today we're diving into the first 12 shocking Bluey animation errors, starting with 4 mistakes that reveal just how complicated this show is to create. And trust me, the deeper we go, the weirder these glitches become. Bingo's hand completely vanishes. In the Season 3 episode where Bandit pretends to be a sheep, Bingo offers him a handful of grass. Bandit sticks out his tongue to grab it, and for a split second something impossible happens. Bingo's hand disappears. It's not hidden behind Bandit. It's not moving out of frame. The hand is simply gone. The moment happens so quickly that you'd never catch it during a normal viewing. But frame by frame, the error becomes obvious. While the animators were focused on Bandit's exaggerated sheep behavior, poor Bingo temporarily lost an entire limb. What makes this mistake fascinating is how ordinary the scene is. There's no action sequence, no complicated camera movement, just a simple interaction between father and daughter. Yet even a quiet moment can hide a surprisingly noticeable glitch. And that wasn't the only body part that mysteriously vanished.
No, you have to eat it for real life.
Bandit's tail spins out of existence. During a playful scene in bed with Bingo, Bandit starts spinning around excitedly. As he turns, his tail suddenly disappears. Not behind his body, not under a blanket, completely. For a brief moment, Bandit becomes a tailless dog before the tail reappears as if nothing happened. Tails are one of the trickiest parts of animating cartoon dogs. They're constantly moving, changing angles, and overlapping with the body. In this scene, Bandit's energetic spinning apparently became too much for the animation to keep up with. The result is a blink-and-you'll-miss-it mystery that makes it look like his tail literally detached during the spin. If disappearing limbs and tails weren't strange enough, the next mistake makes Bluey's face come apart.
What's going on? He went on and now...
Bluey's snout separates from her face. In the takeaway episode, Bluey is pretending to take food orders. While she's talking, her snout suddenly drifts away from the rest of her head. For a split second, her nose appears to be floating in midair before snapping back into place. It's one of the most surreal animation errors in the entire series. This glitch actually reveals a little secret about how Bluey is animated. The character's facial features are built in separate layers, so animators can create more expressive movement. In this shot, those layers didn't line up properly, giving us a rare glimpse behind the scenes. Instead of a smooth expression, Bluey briefly looks like she's performing a magic trick with her own face. But the next mistake happens during one of the show's most emotional moments.
So, ma'am, what would you like?
I'm just gonna check on the spring rolls.
I'll have some super spicy.
Mackenzie's eyebrows disappear. In the space episode, Jack and Rusty help Mackenzie confront a childhood fear. It's a touching, important scene, except for one strange detail. Mackenzie's eyebrows vanish. The little border collie's distinctive eyebrows are present throughout the episode, but in this particular shot, they're completely missing. Without them, his face suddenly looks different, and some of his usual expressiveness disappears. What makes this error so surprising is that it occurs during a key emotional moment, not a fast action scene. Someone on the animation team managed to overlook one of Mackenzie's defining facial features during one of the episode's most important conversations. And amazingly, this wouldn't be the last time Mackenzie's appearance changed unexpectedly, because in the next section, we'll uncover a version of Chili that looks almost like she stepped out of a completely different cartoon.
Is that true, Chief Scientist? Yes.
Chili's face looks completely different. Most Bluey fans could recognize Chili from almost any angle. Her warm smile, calm expression, and distinctive markings make her one of the show's most recognizable characters. That's why one brief scene catches careful viewers completely off guard. During a side profile shot, Chili's snout suddenly appears shifted much farther to one side than normal. At the same time, the darker marking on her head doesn't quite line up with the rest of her face, making her look oddly uneven for just a moment. Blink, and you'll probably miss it. Pause the episode, though, and it's impossible not to notice. Animation artists often rely on slightly different character models depending on the camera angle. Most of the time, those transitions are seamless, but every now and then, one slips through that doesn't quite match the standard design. That's exactly what seems to happen here. It's a tiny inconsistency, but it briefly makes Chili look like she's stepped into a completely different animation style before instantly returning to normal. Moments like these remind us that even one of television's most polished animated shows isn't immune to the occasional visual hiccup. But Chili isn't the only family member whose appearance suddenly changes.
I need 20 minutes when no one comes near me.
What?
Bandit's signature belly disappears. One of the easiest ways to identify Bandit is the large cream-colored patch across his stomach. It's one of his defining features, making him instantly recognizable in almost every scene. But in one surprisingly quick moment, that familiar marking completely vanishes. As Bandit spins during a playful scene, his light-colored belly is suddenly replaced by solid blue fur. For a brief instant, he almost looks like a larger version of Bluey before the correct coloring returns in the very next shot. Color continuity is one of the biggest challenges in television animation. Every character has carefully documented color references that artists follow throughout production. Yet with thousands of drawings spread across an entire season, an occasional mismatch can still find its way into the final episode. Most viewers are focused on Bandit's energetic performance, so the missing belly patch slips by unnoticed. Once you know where to look, however, it's surprisingly obvious. And believe it or not, the next mistake involves another color change, this time on Bluey herself. Bluey's eyebrows change color. The beach episode is filled with small details that make the adventure feel believable. Before the girls head out into the sun, Chili carefully covers them with sunscreen, even leaving visible yellow sunscreen across Bluey's eyebrows. It's a clever little detail that reflects the everyday routines many families know all too well. But that attention to detail doesn't last throughout the entire episode. During one overhead shot, Bluey leans back while Bingo buries her in the sand, and suddenly those yellow eyebrows are gone. Instead, they've returned to their normal blue color, as if the sunscreen was never there in the first place. The change lasts only a moment before everything returns to normal, making it one of those continuity errors that only appears when comparing different shots. Ironically, the mistake highlights just how much thought went into the original scene. Someone intentionally added the sunscreen effect to make the episode feel more authentic, but keeping that tiny detail consistent across every camera angle proved more difficult than expected. The next animation slip is even stranger because it doesn't involve disappearing colors. It makes Chili's face switch sides. Coming up next, we'll uncover a background character whose fur mysteriously changes color, followed by one of the strangest continuity errors hidden inside the takeaway episode.